Hi.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Ah, nothing, man. What's going on? I just ate a bunch of chips, so I'm feeling a little zingy. Well, you watch me eat a bunch of chips,
I watched you go down on Juanita. That's what I watched. You had your fingers in her bag.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Take it easy there, Sailor.
I don't know if Juanita's anyway, yeah, we might start talking about Juanita's chips. But you when I said asked you how you were doing, you went, ha! Am I the only person you do that to, or is that just a general way greeting for you? I
Um,
think you should do it.
I think I do that all the time. I don't know. I'm always making noises and stuff, and I guess.
I'm always making noises. What are you, a fucking chew toy? Chew toy?
I,
You got a squeaker in you?
yeah, maybe. I
That's
don't know.
awesome.
Come take a bite. You know what I mean?
I'm not biting you, Alex.
Mm.
Well, hey, anywho, for those of you just stopping by, that's right, you made it to another episode. It's episode 70 something, so congratulations to all of
Yeah,
us. But yeah, this is an episode of This Is the Future.
unfortunately.
That's right.
Um,
We do have an announcement to make. We haven't decided when we're going to make the announcement. It is going to be in this show.
yeah.
So stay tuned if we don't do it now.
Let's do it now. Fuck it.
You
Let's
want to
do it
make an
right now.
announcement now? All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what? Just hold tight, folks. Yeah. Here we go. So as you know, we like to talk shit and then talk about music because that's what we're into. So, and we've been asking for suggestions for music and all that fun stuff, and you guys have given us some, and we're greatly appreciative for that. Um, we've decided to change it up a little bit, keep it interesting. So, with our music choices going forward, we have decided to come up with a concept. You want to tell them the concept?
Concept is we are basically going to put music, a band, and a album of that band on a wheel. And so what is going to be asked of each other and of you guys is we're going to pick at starting off 10 bands and 10 albums. Want you guys to suggest some, and we're going to put them on there. It's going to be a wheel. Spin the wheel, whatever it lands on. That's what we're going to do the next week, not like we have been. And so basically, from what we need from you guys is just a name of a band and an album, and we're gonna have a deadline for every week. We usually record on Thursday, and our deadline is going to be the Wednesday before we record, just so we can have time to put it on the wheel, get everything straight and figured out, and ready to roll. So that being said, we're gonna plan on doing it next time we record, which is the 11th,
Right.
on a Thursday. So your guys' deadlines to have about a band and one of their albums, and on the 10th, which is a Wednesday before we record on Thursday. So, and it could be any band, it could be something we're not gonna like, something we're gonna like. It could be a band that we've done before, try to make it a different album. In
Right.
fact, don't try, just make it a different album. And then yeah, and what we're gonna do, since we're doing this via Zoom, and we don't want you guys have to read something completely backwards, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have on my iPad, we're gonna have a wheel on the iPad. It's gonna have numbers. I'm gonna spin it, whatever number it lands on, Tony's gonna have the list, and whatever number it lands on, he's gonna go, oh, it's number 3, and it's that band and that album. So that's how that's gonna work
Right.
for right now until we think of a different idea. So please play the wheel of the unfortunate future with us. Is the name, is not the name, but maybe the name. I don't know. The tit foo wheel. Who knows what it's called? Just the
So
wheel.
basically, the name of the wheel is we're still working on it. And if anyone has any suggestions,
Yeah,
throw them in there. You've seen our show.
absolutely.
You've seen enough episodes where you guys can make a suggestion. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna double down on what Alex said. So as far as the bands go, all of that stuff, I'm gonna cut to the chase. I know most people, most of you guys listen, you support the show, totally appreciate it. I know that most people don't really listen to music the way we do. So if you're sitting down and you're picking one band and one album, I appreciate it. Go ahead and pick 5 more.
Yeah.
Seriously. Even if you've never made a suggestion, I know it sounds fucking crazy. You're helping us out. That's all I'm asking for is we can sit here all day long and pick each other's favorite metal records, but that's not what we're going for. We've done that for over a year and it's cool, but we would
Almost 2
love
years.
more audience participation and we want to mix it up. Seriously. Um, anything. I mean, fucking anything. I don't care. I mean this. Don't. I'm not gonna go crazy with it. But you can make Disney suggestions for soundtracks. I don't give a shit. Whatever it is, the funnier it is, the better. Like honestly, if it's gonna be weird for us to listen to it, great. That's better. So if you're thinking of one album, pick a few more. Throw them at us. I'm not gonna. We're not gonna throw them all on the list at the same time.
Yeah,
We're just
they
looking
might
for a
roll over.
stockpile. We're looking for a stockpile of bands and albums so that we don't have to pick it. Honestly, we would prefer if we didn't pick them anymore because then it's that much more fun for the audience.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for. That we've proven that we can talk about our own shit all day long. But I feel like we feel like if we're thrown off guard, it'll be a bit more entertaining. So make us uncomfortable. Seriously, like try to stump us. I'm listening to. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. You make me listen to some weird shit, I'm probably not going to enjoy it, but that's the fucking point. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care. Make
Yeah.
us suffer. Seriously. I mean, my parents used to make me listen to the Judds, the song something about a bridge can build love or some trash. I hated that. I still hate that shit. And if someone suggests it, we're going to listen to it. I'm not excited about that, but it should be fun for you guys because you can fuck with us. So that's how I want, not always, and I'm not just going to pick 10 albums that suck because we do have to listen to these, but we'll have a stockpile and we'll pick from it and we'll make it fun. And the point is for you guys to watch and be like, holy shit, they're going to do my shit next week or whatever, that kind of thing. So that's kind of what we're going for.
Yeah, and the point is the maybe there's a genre of music we don't like, but there's that group, and you guys pick it, and it's like, oh, I like this about it. Let's broaden our horizons. New
Right.
beginnings, family. So that's the wheel, and that's gonna hopefully we're gonna roll that out on the 11th. So deadline is the 10th. This coming Wednesday. So I'm looking at a calendar. So you guys got a deadline. Preferably late afternoon. Eat eat in the evening sometime. So we'll do that. And yeah. But other than that, it's time to start the episode, huh?
Yeah, damn right. So
Damn
thanks
right.
for hanging in for that public service announcement, everybody. Throw some shit our way. YouTube, where do you want them to throw them? YouTube, Instagram, you check everywhere, don't you?
Yeah, the same places. If you do Instagram, just direct message us. If you do YouTube, like always, comment on the most recent episode because I don't want to have to go back and back and back and look and see who did. So it's just the most recent one, or DM us on Instagram.
Right. It doesn't have to be that hard. If you're listening to music in your car and you like the song, look up the album and throw it our way.
Yep.
Done.
Yep. Just look
That's
up the band or the group, the artist, and that album that song came from, and we'll throw it up on the wheel.
I mean, keeping in mind, I had to go see my daughter's one of the bands she wanted to see was Little Xanax, right? And I stayed for that whole fucking show. So I can put up with a lot. So do your thing. We'll watch it. We'll listen to it, whatever it is. Yeah, we just wanted to throw that out there. So it should be fun and exciting. And all right, now it's on to dick jokes.
Here we go.
So dick jokes aside for a second. No, how was Halloween, dude?
Halloween was good. I was at the coast with Callie. Well, we went the day before. We went to Lincoln City, and then we came back and just hung out with everybody, and kind of a normal night. Ate some food, watched a scary movie, What we watch? What we watch? Oh, we watched the It, the original
First one,
It. Yep.
the original It.
Yeah.
I had a hard time. I never saw the original It because I watched the remake and then I watched the original. I was like, this isn't that scary. Like
No. Well, I
because I
mean,
watched the other one first.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's for the time and place, Tim Curry, like whenever when was that made? Like the 70s, late 70s.
Yeah, and it probably the late 70s,
Yeah.
early 80s. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just he's so fucking funny that
Yeah.
like it's I see him talking to Kevin McAllister and I'm like, this guy ain't gonna fucking hurt anybody. That's where my head was at. But don't get me, I'm with you. I think something to Stephen King's that fucked me up. I was younger when The Stand came out.
Oh
And
yeah.
it
Mhm.
was, I think it was put on TV or something. My dad and I watched it. This was before on demand or anything. So I just remember it came out and it was in pieces. So we I don't know, but I just remember it was fucked up. I just remember like the devil being in a jail, something about the devil getting people out of jail. It's fucked up. I don't know. It was a messed up movie. Stephen King's movies are kind of scary, but they're just kind of fucked up.
Yeah, more of them are like they're just bizarre. Like the way
Yeah,
he writes, he's just a fucking weirdo. And so
right.
not all of them are like scary. They're just like either like bad or interesting and weird. Like it's not like
Well, Green Mile, he wrote that book. That was not wasn't meant to probably not meant to be scary. It was I like the story, and he always
yeah,
has a little crazy weird twist to it. Um, so I Stephen King. I'm trying to think. I remember once I kind of pretended to read once in a while when I was a kid, and I went through a phase where I read I read Pet Cemetery, but I only read a couple of pages. I just remember reading this page. This is kind of disgusting, but in any case, I remember reading this fucking page, and it said, "Homeboy was getting a hand job in the bathtub,
mhm.
and she busted out a Brillo pad and gave him a handy with that." And it's in the book. It's in the book. It's not in the movies. I checked, but it's definitely in the book. And I'm sitting there and I'm reading this, and I'm like, I'm in 7th grade math class. Probably shouldn't be reading this shit. And that's what I did. I stopped. But I just kept trying to go back to that page. Like I was just like, I would show people like, look, man, this guy's getting a hand job with a Brillo pad. Like, it's fucking crazy. Why didn't this make it into the movie? Like people be talking about that shit for days. So that's I've never really read one of Stephen King's whole books, because if it's like that, I'm like, nah, fuck that. That's weird, man.
Right.
I don't want hand jobs anymore. I'm nervous. Be like, like you're in the bathtub and she comes in there and and then she's like, you just got done washing the dishes. You don't have steel wool, do you? I mean, I'm just
Right.
paranoid now. See, Stephen King fucked my head up. Those two
So
sentences,
one
I was like,
story for Tony, and then he's got all
it makes me nervous.
he
I'm
thinks
nervous to do
everyone's
hand. I
gonna
don't want
take
anybody to touch
advantage
me
of
now.
his,
Like, you didn't just touch broken glass or anything, did you? Wash your hands. That's why I always tell people before you touch me, wash your hands. I don't want you have no fucking Brillo pads on your hands or none of that shit. It's crazy. So if he writes like that, it's exhausting. I wouldn't sleep right. I'm like, that's fucked up. He already ruined hand jobs in the bathtub for me, so I'm not going to keep reading his books. Sorry, Steve. It's not happening. I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big. If it's a scary movie is when they write it into the movie, like like the sounds go off or something jumps. That's provokes a physical response. That's
right.
scary. But a lot of movies are just fucked up. Like we talk. The music for this week is the soundtrack to The Devil's Rejects. Well, I watched The Devil's Rejects for Halloween, and I was like, this isn't scary. This is just fucked up. Like,
Right.
no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I watched Three from Hell. That's I like. I like Three from Hell. Rob Zombie's third
Yeah.
movie to that series. I really like that movie. I don't know why, but he has the. Well, I like it, and here's why. He has the ability to make you feel sorry for serial killers. You're like, oh man, those poor serial killers. That's how I felt. I was like, God damn. I was like, baby's going through a lot of shit. It's their third movie. She spent a lot of time in prison. Her head isn't right. This is just sad. It wasn't sad, but I was like, this guy's good. He's making me feel bad for this fucking guy. He just blew a clown's brains out. The gnarly shit they did. Have you seen this movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the shit they do to them in that house, the warden's house. It was just like, God damn. And then, fun fact, in that movie, he cuts off his wife's, he cuts off that woman's face.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, shaves off. He cuts the woman's face off, and then she's sitting there without a face, and he hangs her face on a tree, and she's looking at it, and that's his wife in real life. So I just imagine like with the guy that plays Otis, Bill Moseley. I can't imagine what kind of relationship they have.
Probably a really good. Really good. I mean, when it comes to face, they probably have a really good relationship.
I just imagine like, don't make me cut your face off again. Like, don't even start.
I will cut that face right off. Listen.
But I mean, it's like, that's not scary. That's just gnarly.
Right.
Like, so it's hard to find a scary movie. I've seen a couple, but things that make you jump, like actually make you jump in your seat.
Right. I think it's different because like some people are like, what scares me is being taken captive by like fucking 3 insane hillbillies, you know, or like what scares me is demons and the devil getting possessed, you know. Like I fell asleep because I was really tired, but we watched we had on The Conjuring 3.
Those are, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They're all about like demon possession and
but they're based on, they say they're based on real shit, right?
Yeah.
I saw one of those with Jesse, and they have a newer one out. Yeah, they're pretty fucked up. I like that.
That's the yeah. So we did that. Watched it. So when we were at the coast, Callie and I got engaged. So that happened.
What? Oh wow, man. All right. Well, fuck, all right. That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't really know how to like tell people that, or like say it.
Yeah, you know, well, right in the middle of a video, whatever this is, and you know, in the middle of talking about horror movies and shit. Yeah. Speaking of scary things, just kidding. No, but that's fucking awesome, man. Yeah. Congratulations, Alex, to you both. That's fucking awesome, man.
Thanks, Tony. Yeah.
That is real. That's great news, man. I can't stop smiling. That's fucking great. Right on, man.
Yeah, that's why we went to the coast. I mean, she didn't know it. It was a surprise, but
that's so cool, man. Goddamn. Got me tearing up a little bit. Shit, dude. That's great.
Thanks.
For all you people that didn't know I have a heart, I guess I do.
It's in there somewhere.
I like this guy. That's it. Congratulations. One last time. Congratulations to you both. That is fucking great.
Thank you. Thanks, Tony.
Excellent news, man. Right on.
Yeah,
that's cool.
She said no. I mean, she said no though. So.
That'd be fucking funny.
Yeah, all right.
You're like, so I'm looking for roommates. Oh shit! Well, that's fun, man. Right on. Yeah. Guys, the next question I guess you're supposed to ask is like, you know, do you guys pick the, you know, when you're gonna do it? And...
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe sooner than later because of other things that are happening or might happen or going to happen. But yeah, it's we haven't set it like a date yet. We're still going through the you know, it being like a new thing, like, you know, like, and everything. So, but we haven't decided what kind of wedding we're gonna have. Like, if all I know is it either has to be like a small, like close family, like go to like have someone get their become an officiant,
yeah,
or go to the courthouse and just have like small, like, and just a little bit of people, like, you know, close family there, or it has to be a big wedding, because I don't want to brag or anything, and I don't think this is necessary. I know a lot of people.
You got a lot of fucking friends, Alex.
I know too many. I know so many. I'm friended up. Like, I'm overflowing with people that I know. So yeah, all I know is like, we can't just have like a medium wedding. It's either going to be a small or a huge, like because I know for a fact that I could fill just by myself with people that I consider very close and that I would want there.
Mm-hmm.
Like probably like 150 people.
Yep.
Probably like by myself, just because, everyone would have a +1. If I invite them, I have to invite this person because they'll get mad, and then blah 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 and blah 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 and blah, 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 and all these. And it's like, I know I just throughout things I've done in my life, I've met people that I consider really truly good friends, and I know a lot of them throughout skateboarding, cooking, just going to school, like childhood friends being like in the music, like the punk scene in Central Oregon, comedy, and then now like people I work with now that I consider close friends. So it's like, there's probably like 150 people that I would want to come. So it's either we got to have like just family at a courthouse or down like in a park somewhere, very small, like no one really even knows it's happening kind of wedding, or it's got to be a big fucking thing. So.
And that only makes sense, of course, because then you invite one, you're going to feel bad you didn't invite everyone else. So it's all or nothing as far as friends go. But yeah, you can always do an intimate thing. And of course, in a hybrid situation is that you have your wedding, and then you have a massive reception party, or something, or a wedding. You could always do like, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about this shit because I don't know fuck all about weddings. But
that's what would happen is that's what's going to happen either way. It's either going to be, we're going to have like a small, just like family, maybe a couple close friends, like have someone get ordained. Really, I've done it. All to get ordained, all you need is $35 in the internet. That's all you need. You don't need to do anything else. You put your name, your age, and you give somebody $35, and then they mail you a card a week later. That's all that happens.
The whole time I thought of two different ways. I had two images in my head. One is the guy, remember when they get married in Beetlejuice? It's like a short little demon. That would be cool if you could pull that off. And the second one is from Spaceballs, when he's tired of fucking the minister's trying to get them married. At the end of the movie, he's like, I've had enough of this. Do you? You good? You're married. There you go. I just think, I don't know. Fuck me. I would have somebody do that. If I was getting married, I'd be like, I want you to do it just like this.
Or like in Princess Bride, and he rolls down the thing, marriage.
It'd be cool if you had everyone dress up all medieval and shit, like no one wore shoes. We all had ropes around our pants, and just like, which kind of happens in Portland anyway. I mean, the pants thing, But that would be there's a lot of funny shit you could do with that. But at the end of the day, none of that's gonna happen. I mean, none of the fun shit's gonna happen, because a wedding is, and I mean this, like, that's the, that's especially for your soon to be wife, that's her day. You know what I mean? Like, usually most women it's their day to look, amazing. I mean, wear a dress and do all that. I don't know how she sees it, but a lot of people is just like, it's the woman, it's her day. Make sure she has a great fucking time.
Callie might be like that, but she's not really that kind of traditional lady. She's
really, that's cool. I don't know. I don't bang it. Do whatever you want. I hate cameras and I hate dresses, so I don't want to do any of it.
Well, we've talked a lot about different things. Like, she doesn't want to walk down the aisle and all that kind of thing. It would either be like we'd have like a small like wedding and then a party separate. Like, it would just be like a different thing. Like, so she doesn't want she doesn't like a lot of attention, you know what I mean? So like,
that's exactly what, as soon as you said she doesn't want to walk down the aisle, I was like, oh, she does not like to be the center of attention then.
Yeah. So, and I've thrown out things like go to Vegas and get married by like little Elvis.
Yes.
No, I tried to sell it to her. I'm like, no, think about it this way. You won't be the shortest person at your wedding. Think about it that way. That's awesome.
Do it.
Like, I don't know. I'm like, that'd be funny though. Think about it. We'll never forget that. You don't even need pictures of it. You'll never forget it. Like, that's
but you could, just like The Hangover, you could get a hat, with like your names on it and shit, and the dining set. You could get the whole package.
The whole package.
You could get the whatever they call it, the Holly, I don't know. The high roller package. That's what they got. Get the high roller package. That's fun. Yeah, see, Yeah, if you know, if your lady has a sense of humor, you could get
Yeah.
all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
Having
so there,
fun.
that's the plan. We're gonna get married.
Go to Vegas.
Get married soon. We'll see what happens.
That's cool,
And
man.
yeah, I don't know. Do you want to go to Vegas, Tony?
Yeah, fuck. I was already talking about going to Vegas. They have fresh air like inside. Who doesn't want to do that?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I wanted to go for, fresh air.
fresh
I'm
air.
serious. Listen, man, listen. The last time I went to Vegas, I forgot you needed money, and I don't have any. So, so I, it's no shit.
What do you mean?
I mean, I didn't have any fucking money. So like we got a place to stay, and we were going because the person that I was with was going for a beauty with the convention. Whatever.
Mhm.
Anyway, all I know is it was like, oh, we should go, we should gamble while we're there. And I was like, I have a bag of pennies. And that's what I brought, was this big bag of pennies. And they were my people that I was with were like, what are you gonna do with that? And I was like, I'm gonna gamble all night. Like, they got penny slots, right? And they're like, no, man, like they don't have, like, you can bet pennies, but you can't put pennies in the machine. Well, they were
Right.
wrong. Back then you could put pennies in the machine. And that's what I
Really?
did. I sat there and I put my whole bag of pennies in the machine
Do you win
all at
anything?
once. Because here's the plan. My thought was, I'll get fucked up if I sit here and play the machine. They'll bring me beers. So I
Right.
sat there, and the chick came by, gave me a beer, and then I slammed it kind of right in front of her. As like she's walking in, I'm like, can I get another one? And she brought another one like 20 minutes later, but I was still putting pennies in the machine. I was just still putting them in there. And then I didn't know how to bet, and I'm waiting for my beer to come. I was like, I'm just gonna, I'll just push the button really quick, and then I'll, just to act like I'm doing something so I can get drunk. And I didn't know what to push, and I pushed bet all.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I bet all my pennies at once, and I hit. And I was like, I don't know, it was a couple, it was like, I know it wasn't 100, but it was, I probably put in $5 in pennies, and I got I got like $80.
That's a lot
And
of things.
like I said, so yeah, I bet all the pennies and I won. I've $80, and I took the money out and put it in my pocket. And she's like coming down there with my beer, and I'm like putting my money away. And she's like, and I was like, oh, my beer. She's like, you're not playing anymore. And I was like, yeah. And she just kept walking. She just like walked right by me. I was like, the fuck? I was like,
They only give you drinks if you're
one fucking beer for one bet.
only if you're gambling. That's the
But
you
I
get
found, but there's a picture of me, and there's this place that there's not a lot of grass on the Vegas Strip, but there is a place that's like an oasis, or there was, where there's a strip of fake grass.
okay.
And it's how I remember, because I got really drunk here. Behind, like where the fake grass is, there's this outside bar, and they had these white pitchers with the white handle on it, and it says on there $5. And so I was like, ooh, that's a good way to get fucked up. And it was just a pitcher, a big pitcher of beer, big fucking, a big, like this thing was almost bending, like kind of like,
Yeah.
and yeah, I bought myself and and the chick I was with at the time, we each got one of those. And when we were, and I remember just getting it down, like really trying to get fucked up as quick as I could. The next picture, and then the next picture I have in my camera roll is me like laying on the grass with my leg up and my hand up, like posing on the
Yeah.
grass at 3 p.m. And then right after that, I threw up, but no one took that picture. So I kind of later threw up in the only piece of grass you can find on the strip.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why there's some grass on the strip, is so people
Grass grew.
splatter on the doesn't splatter on the concrete, and like
I actually I do, joking aside though, I've been talking to some people around here about going to Vegas. And my cousin, he has a cousin on the other side of his family who works in Vegas, lives in, he's from here. He's a deal, he does something, I don't know. He works in the fucking casinos. He has a personality, gets people to spend, I don't know what he does, what game he's whatever. But he's there, and my cousin's like, we should go in August. He's like, it's dead, it's too hot. And I was like, exactly, it's too fucking hot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going. Like, I'll go. I don't care if everyone else goes like in February. that's when you want to go when it's cold and miserable here. You get on a plane and you're in a warm environment for a week.
Dude, I've been to Vegas in the summer. In fact, the only time I've been to
Yeah, you
Vegas
did go,
was
right.
2 different times, and it was each time in the summer. It's not dead. And it's fucking hot as fuck. Like you open your car door and it just feels like someone has like a fucking hair dryer blowing in your face because there's wind and it's like hot wind. It's fucking disgusting. And there's both times I was there, granted I was there for a festival, so there's something going on in Vegas.
Yeah.
But each time I was there, it was in the summer, and there was tons of people there. I think there's always people in Vegas, you know.
I don't think it's ever dead, man. I mean, I don't see Vegas being like that. I don't know. I want to go. I would like to go to Vegas and just be a slob for
Yeah,
a week.
yeah.
Definitely. Just be a fucking party animal, because
It's a,
when you really want to party is like you want to get out of that like 10 at night, and you want to go till like 4 or 5 in the morning. Like that's how Vegas is set up. I mean, that's when everything starts going off. Like that's what I would do. I would sleep all day in the air conditioning and then go out at night. I wouldn't even want to see the damn sun unless it was setting or it was coming up. That's it.
well,
Hello and
and
goodbye.
the thing is you could in most hotels in Vegas, there's also a casino, so
Right.
you can just like stay inside in the hotel.
Well, I don't, it's been a while. When I was there, a couple of them were connected, and I don't know if more of them are or not, but yeah, technically speaking, there's a little monorail you can take in between a few, but some of them you can walk to, do not have to go outside to get to. I just don't gamble that. I could bring my bag of pennies, but I'm not a big gambler. I'll
Yeah,
watch.
I mean, last time I was there, I didn't. The person I was there for kind of like a bachelor party, like low key bachelor party. Like we went to punk rock bowling. My friend Greg was getting married, and it was just him and I and then one of his other friends, and it was just like a very low key thing. But we definitely gambled. We put some money down, and and I was throwing down money for him, so I was spending a lot of money, you know,
Mm.
and I came back home like probably $400 poorer, you know. So that's like, you know, all things considered, Vegas, that's not that bad.
No,
People,
400 ain't as, no, that's, some people lose that in one hand. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, no, that's
people.
modest. But if I dropped $400 in Vegas and had nothing to show for it, I would probably still be crying about it. I hate losing money. Ever since I stopped messing with hookers, I hate losing money. I hate it.
I mean, sometimes when you do that, you don't lose. You
Yeah,
come
but
back.
you get something for your money. You might get something for the rest of your life for your money.
Yeah,
It might get real bad, but
yeah,
yeah,
you come
you
back with
take home
something.
something.
You're not a complete loser. You got something. Yeah.
It was a business transaction. It wasn't a gamble.
And the grand prizes, fuck, you know.
Nothing like waking up being like, I did what with who, when? Fuck.
Well,
No.
shit.
I paid how much for that hand job? Jesus Christ.
Um, so yeah, back to Halloween. Like, what'd you do for Halloween? Did you guys do anything?
So yeah, that if anyone saw our Instagram post, I tried my first meme. Is that what it is? Or meme.
Yep.
Meme.
Me.
Meme. Yeah. So we my dad, Steph, and myself all went to a haunted attraction. So these days when you go places, they don't just have one haunted house, they have three, and they charge way too much for them. So my dad got us tickets and we all went. And the idea was to tailgate a haunted house, which I thought would be a lot of fun. Um,
People do that there?
no, actually, there's signs everywhere that say don't fucking even think about drinking, in so many words. So we didn't drink. It was like one of those things like, oh, we're gonna have fun, we'll be fucked up and stumble through the forest. And it was just like, no fucking drinking. It's like, all right, whatever, fine. It was so busy, it was like, we better get in here, we better get this going. And so I think it probably took about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to do it all. But the cool shit about it is the first one was in the woods, and there's
Okay.
three events, and the first one was in the woods, and you walk through the woods. And just to give these people credit, it's called the Bates Motel. It's in it's in Pennsylvania, long story short. So thanks, Bates Motel, but you put on some good shit. But in any case, they have an outside, used to have a hayride, and they took the hayride and they turned it into a walkthrough attraction for COVID. So they got some big shit in there, like in the woods. I mean, in the woods, dude. You're walking through the woods. It's darker than fuck. Obviously, it was like 9 o'clock at night, and this they had like fires going, and then like flames would shoot out every 30 seconds. I mean, that was cool. That was the beginning, and you keep going. I felt like some of the shit were movie sets. I'm serious, man. It was crazy, like mechanical movie sets. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like a fucking 100-foot long or 200-foot long slaughterhouse. They had like dinosaurs in there. It felt like I don't know where they got all this shit from, but there must have been like 30 attractions on this one walk through the woods. And you just walked into something else, and there were people scaring you and shit like that too. And then that one was probably the best one. You just walk through from probably, I don't know, it felt like a half a mile. You walk through, and then they try to scare you and whatnot. The fun thing about bringing a female that's reactionary is that they're going to get something out of her. So that happened.
Definitely. I think they kind of target that, man.
Yeah, I mean, I smile at them, and they just keep like fuck this guy. But then the next one, the one of all three of them. So what happened was halfway through the first haunted house, it starts raining. Nobody had any idea. No one brought a fucking rain jacket. And so we're like, oh, right on. It's drizzling. So it added to it. It's kind of cool. And then we went through the second one, which is like a corn maze, but it's haunted, like Children of the Corn type shit. And I'll tell you something that got me on that one. There was a horse, a headless horse person. And at first you just thought it was just sitting, it was fake, right? But it was dark. And I was looking at it and I'm like, it's moving. The horse was moving really slowly. And I just kind of stopped and looked at it and I was like, that's a real fucking horse.
They had a real horse?
Probably a real person on that horse, with looking headless. So that really caught me off guard because it was so slow. That made it scary. And then the one thing that got me, like my fears are snakes. I don't like snakes. And they did have like a snake farm. And they made it look like there wasn't, but it made it look like there were some live snakes in there. So I wasn't hip to that shit at all. I was like, fuck this shit. Power walk through that part. Through the lady behind me, so let her get bit. But yeah. And then the Bates Motel is like the big deal, and that one's cool. You go through the house, but by this time it's a torrential fucking downpour. Damn. People have $100 honestly, probably $500 sneakers on. People came from the city for this shit, so everyone's like, my fucking sneakers, man. And the rain's hitting the ground and it's splashing up, and all three of us are soaked. My dad can't even swim. He hates water. So he was playing it as best he could. And he's just like, oh, man, it's really getting wet out here and all this shit. So it rained, but we went in the Bates Motel, and like the ghosts are like they're coming up to us and stuff. And they're like, damn, you guys are really wet. I'm like, you're broke character, motherfucker. Like, come on. Like, I paid money. It's like, come on. Fuck being wet. Give me a hug. Like the one person I was trying to hug him. I'm like, come here. So we had fun with that. But that was a cool attraction. You go in, like, reminded me of the Addams Family or something.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
The Munsters house. That was neat. But the one thing that there was a situation that I didn't start. I don't know how funny this is going to be, but this is how it went down. I was stone cold sober and had just worked, 10-hour shift, not in the mood. Like as far as that goes, just chilling, just unwinding. I'm standing there in line waiting to go into the haunted forest. And there's this girl in front of us with her two guy friends. And she's 100 miles an hour. She's probably 18, 19, 20. I don't know, somewhere up there, some young girl. She's 100 miles an hour. And she's just, anyway, she decides of all the fucking people standing around her, she's going to come up and she sneaks up on me and like grabs me from behind. And I got to be honest with you, man, ever since I was in the military, if you do that shit, my body just automatically wants to defend itself. And I didn't do anything. I just stopped. Like my body just locked up. And she kind of like turned around. She's like, I got you. And my dad and Steph are looking at me and looking at her, and everyone's looking. And I just stared at her. I gave her this look, like, I'm not going to react. I'm just going to look at you till you go the fuck away. Mm-hmm. And because I was just like, my senses were just like, choke slam this person. You're like, fucking defend yourself. Just don't sneak up on, I just don't dig that shit. Please don't come up behind me, man. I'm not into
You
it.
don't like being
Please.
you don't like being touched
I
to
don't.
begin
I'm
with.
not trying to be crazy. It's just who I am. So I mean, just hey, how you doing? High five. That's fine. That's just don't sneak up on me, man. And that's what this chick did. And so I stood there and I looked at her and she was like, "What's the matter? You're gonna be uptight about it?" And things like that. And I was just like, you know what? I was like, you did it. You high five. I was like, you got it. And I was like, now just please go up there. Just go back to your party. I appreciate it. And she was like, "Oh, whatever. I guess you didn't get it or whatever." And it means, meanwhile, in my head, like, I'm just like, I'm sitting there, I'm calming down. I was like, I'm going to get this chick. I'm going to fucking get this chick. And so about 30 seconds later, I went up right behind her fucking ear. And I was like, boo! I mean, it echoed the change in people's pockets. And she was just like, her hair's like, you saw her body like jolt, but then she tried to keep her composure. And I was just like, gotcha! And she's like, she didn't fucking see that coming because she figured this guy's a serial killer. I scared the shit out of him. Hopefully he doesn't stab us. And then 30 seconds later, I'm like, look, I have a sense of humor, bitch. And it was just
Right.
like, and she's like, didn't know what to do. And she's like, you just got me like right in my ear, man. I'm just like, I know, right? You're gonna have fucking nightmares about that shit if I'm lucky. And she's just like, I might. I'm like, awesome. Have a good trip, that kind of thing. And as soon as I like stop fucking with her or whatever, my lady's listening to her and she's like, no one's ever come back at me like that ever. And her boyfriend or whatever is like, he's like, I told you, bitch. He literally said. And they never said anything. Two dudes that were as tall as the sky didn't say anything. And I'm like, okay, you're the obnoxious one in the group. They do not answer for your problems.
Yeah,
that's cool. And I wasn't like gonna fight anybody, but it was just like my body went into like defense mode because that's just how I was brought up in it.
I totally get that vibe that like, dude, you just like I'm the same way. I don't really like being jump scared in person, but like I like haunted houses and movies and stuff like that. But like I've reacted like that. I one time broke my cell phone because someone came up behind me and scared me. And I got pissed and I threw it against the ground.
Right, because some people are, like that fight or whatever. It doesn't matter. Some people just don't.
I'm like you. I just see red. I'm just like, fuck, So
right, and I get being scared, but I mean, I'll be scared by people that I know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to fuck with me? It's better if we know each other. Then I'm not gonna. But I didn't see I didn't see this chick coming at all. I never said hello to her. We had nothing.
There's no rapport. It was just.
And that's
like
what's funny is like, I don't know if it's the younger generation thing, but they don't really speak to you at all. And then out of nowhere, like the younger kids are just like, hey, do you want this? Do you want these? This other kid just offered me tickets out of nowhere. And I'm like, no. I'm like, you don't know how to warm up the car. You just jump in.
Right.
It's like, this isn't the internet. You don't just throw a fucking emoji at a stranger. Like you break the fucking ice first. And that's the whole trick. It's like, hey man, just be respectful because I was wearing this shit. Like I'm flag right here. Don't sneak up on a fucking veteran. Don't do it. I mean it. Like you'll get drilled by a 90-year-old man with an elbow to the nose. Those guys are fucking. They're just, that's how they're wired. You don't fuck with people. So It was like I tried to play it cool after I calmed down and scared her, but I told her I was like, yeah, I bet that shit's gonna stick in your head for a while. And she was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, you don't fuck with people like that. Like, I want you to have nightmares. Like, that's the goal now. Like, you fuck my shit up. Let's fuck your shit up a little bit.
Like, I want you to have nightmares.
Yeah, fuck. And through the haunted house, like, it was funny because we ended up going through with all the haunted houses. They were behind us or in front of us the whole time. It was just ironic. It was like, of course. And they're like, I remember she got the shit scared out of her a few times. I think she fell down once. Nothing to do with me. But it was just like, yeah, you're getting rocked, like, and that started it. But yeah, we got fucking hosed, like soaked, like to the point where we were gonna go to my dad's house and drink beer, and we were so wet that it's like I rode the log flume, and like when I rode down the log flume, someone took a bucket of mud and threw it in our faces, like that's how fucking dirty and wet we were. And so it was. I mean, we looked at the light, and it was like hard, big drops. Like, real serious fucking rain. Like you couldn't see driving home. So we all came back here and got fucked up. That was fun. That was
good. Yeah. That's cool, man. I've never been to an outside haunted house.
Really, I like those a lot. Or like haunted hay rides, they're fun because they just sneak up on your ass when you're riding. My mom did that the same at a different place years ago. So we were on a haunted hay ride, and someone snuck up on her from, you're facing each other in the hay ride, face to
Right.
face. So everything behind you, like talk about not being snuck up on. Jesus, I was sitting side Sally like this, like in there. I'm like making sure no one's coming up on me, so, spatial awareness. But someone snuck up on her ass, and my mom's just 5 foot nothing. I remember she got up and just left, like the hayride, like got up. It was like, wait,
Really?
where are you going? She like left the hayride, just started walking. She's like, fuck this shit, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Fuck you.
Like they're like,
Fuck
ma'am, get
you.
back in
Fuck
the
you.
cart. And she's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. It's
I
like,
like
mom, I was
that.
like, you're better off to ride back with us than walk back to the fucking haunted shit. Like, what are you doing?
I love that. That's so funny. Like, fuck it. I'm done.
But
I'm
it's
done.
like it was her idea. That's the best part. It wasn't like, hey mom, get in the car. We're gonna go to Olive Garden. Just kidding. It's a haunted house. We
Yeah.
didn't do that. It was like, hey, do you guys want to do something fun? Do you want to go to a haunted house? And it was like, she's like, it's a haunted hayride. It shouldn't be too scary. And all it was just driving through the trees, and people were just jumping out, grabbing you and shit, like putting your coat on for you and scaring the hell out of you. And it was like, yeah, that's what you signed us up for this shit. Yeah, I think she bought the tickets. And she's just like, fuck this, I'm out. Like, what'd you think this was? Muppets Halloween? Like, we're not gonna sing or anything.
Right. Oh, that's
Oh,
fucking
shit.
great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you got to go to a haunted house and get all fucking wet and muddy and shit. Sounds good.
Yeah, man. Carve some pumpkins, that kind of shit. It was
Yeah.
a good time. A nice
Very
nice little Halloween.
Yeah. Well, time to talk about music, unless you got anything else.
I don't, man. Not at all.
Time of the hour.
Oh, cool. All right. So yeah, the what I picked for Halloween, well, I picked the Halloween themed soundtrack, which is the Devil's Reject soundtrack, and bunch of different shit on there. Something I realized last night when I was listening to it, I forgot just how much of it is like country stuff, like 70s country.
Yeah, it's like there is some of that, and it's like real hippie like, like old.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like listening to it last night and I wasn't sober, and I was like, this ain't very scary. It's like, but it's a soundtrack. It's not meant to be, but
No, yeah.
it was chill as fuck. I was like, I'm ready for bed, man. But I love it because because if you're watching that movie and you turn the movie on, like when I went and saw this movie, The Devil's Rejects, which is one of probably my top scary movie, is The Devil's Rejects. And I remember going to the theater. I remember what theater I was in. I remember what time of day it was. That's how much I like the movie. I just remember sitting there, and the movie starts, and then fucking the Allman Brothers, and they're running away from the law, and it matches. And I just remember standing up in the theater going, "Fuck yeah!" And then it was Bend, Oregon, so that was inappropriate, but I did it anyway. And yeah, love the movie. So that's why I love the soundtrack, because I picture the scenes. But in any fucking case, what did you think?
Yeah, no, I liked it. It's classic songs, shit from like, I don't know what the newest thing on there is, but it's like all from the 70s, really, right?
Yeah, it is. And I noticed something because I've listened to I have the Three from Hell soundtrack on vinyl, and I noticed that Rob Zombie must have a sweet spot for the musician Terry Reid, because there's like 3 Terry Reid songs on each album, or 2.
Right.
He's an English chap, but he's singing like 70s, like country, whatever that, like folk or whatever.
Yeah, that's like like 70s hippie kind of Americana.
Yeah, it fits, like they're supposed to be in Texas, so the music fits the crime or whatever they say. But yeah, it definitely. I'm not a big Terry Reid fan as far as that goes. Like, he's got some catchy shit, but the songs that I dug on, but I'll be honest with you, when I was listening to this last night, I was like, boy, if Alex is playing this shit at work, he's probably got fired or sent home early. Like,
no, I mean, I think I did listen to it once or twice at work, but I mainly was listening to it when I was on walks with the dog or just chilling out at the house. No, No, man, it's a good soundtrack. It's a good movie too. What I liked about it is I like that Rob Zombie didn't put himself on there.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. And did he in the first one?
I don't know.
That's a really good point. So what makes
Yeah.
you well tell me, why do you like that?
No, it's just kind of selfless. It's just like you could listen to me when you want, but this is the. It's like
It doesn't have shit to do with him being a musician.
yeah,
This
it's
is
like
the
he
thing.
made a playlist for himself, things that he likes, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
it fits the movie. And not all the time you're gonna like your shit, and your shit doesn't always fit the movie. So he was probably just like, this is what I like, you know. I made the movie. I have my own music career and records and albums, all this shit. I don't need to put my music on it. I think I just thought it was pretty cool.
Well,
It's
and you
kind of
bring
like,
up a valid point because I just thought about it. He did make a song for the first movie. It's called House of a Thousand. I think it's
yeah,
called House of a Thousand Corpses. So he did do a track for that one, but he never did it again.
yeah, like just at least on this one, like there's yeah, he's not on there, but there's a lot of good songs, a lot of good classic songs that people know, like um Rocky Mountain Ways on there. Great,
Yeah.
great song. Joe Walsh. Um the Allman Brothers Band, Midnight Rider. I really like Terry Reid. There's two of them on there on here. I think Terry Reid's pretty cool. Um
It is their like seat of memory. Like I
three
don't
of
get me
them.
wrong, like
Yeah.
I like those. I do like the songs. I just if I had to pick the ones on here that I wasn't those would be my least favorite. But I like it all. And I actually am trying to buy this on vinyl. So it's not that I wouldn't want to hear those songs over and over again. But there's songs that I never heard of before, or musicians I never heard of, like Otis Rush. I Can't Quit You, Baby. That shit is bad. Like the song, I think the way it starts, he's fucking screaming his head off. It
Yeah.
sounds true blues, man. And it's just cool that that's in this soundtrack in this movie.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
and
I've never heard of Otis Rush before.
No, but it sounds like that song has been around because I can't quit you, baby, but I gotta put you down for a while. Wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow. That's a famous blues jam. I just don't know of him. He may be the original artist for all I know. But the one that I always laughed my ass off with, and I wanted to look into this and see who the hell Banjo and Sullivan consisted of.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, if that's not funny, well, then that I'll say this describes my sense of humor because the first time I heard this shit, I was like, "Ah, oh, this is great. I'm at home getting hammered while she's out getting nailed." If that
Yeah.
isn't clever,
It's a
then
good
I'm a
song.
dumb asshole because that's really funny.
No, it's a good song. It's funny. A funny song to end the soundtrack with.
Yeah. Well, if you've seen the movie, like Freebird is like that's one of the I've seen Freebird in a bunch of freaking movies, but that's a pretty good. I mean, I was like, really? I almost thought like he was daring for putting that in the movie. You kind of got some balls doing that, just because, like, it's almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's
Played out.
almost, huh? What do you say?
About played out.
Played out. Yep, that's the phrase. It was like, yeah, this is kind of, yeah. I was like kind of shocked he did it, but then when everyone's getting blown to hell in the movie and it fits, and then after the movie, it does fit. It worked. I'll say that. I thought it worked. Maybe one of the best uses of that song I've seen in a soundtrack, but I'm not. Yeah,
It's a
so big fan.
it's one of those songs where it is really played out, and I'm like, it's a okay song, but anytime I've ever heard Freebird, like hear that song, I'm just like, yeah, I guess I could talk to someone now or something. Like I don't need to listen to it, but it's cool that it's on there. It's the only song where I'm like, eh.
I honestly I skipped. I know it already. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's the thing. But if you're watching the movie, it fits. It's like, all right, okay, yeah, I get you, right. But it's not. Yeah, that's of all the songs on there, like that one, I skip over. But everything else, yeah. And like I said, Terry Reid isn't bad. It's just I don't own any Terry Reid. I'm not going to own any Terry Reid.
hmm
Um, but the songs fit well in the soundtrack.
Sure.
And that's why I listen to them. I don't skip over them. So that one, and the on mine, it's Satan's Got to Get Along Without Me by Buck Owens is darked out. I've heard it. I have the soundtrack on CD or something. I don't know if you got to hear that one or not. Was that on there?
Yeah, there it was on there.
On Apple Music, it's there. On Spotify, it's not available.
There was two songs that that song I Can't Quit You Baby and then Rock On. Those two songs were darted out, like we're blacked out or whatever. I just had to listen to them somewhere else.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, that's weird. And on this one, it's weird how Spotify gets their permissions, however that works, but that's what it is that they don't have permission to put that song on there from the artist or the whoever owns the label. There's music out there. It's weird. If you guys have streaming services, you'll notice once in a while there's shit you can't listen to.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, I picked that. I'm glad you dug it. It wasn't anything mind-blowing, but soundtracks for all of you guys watching the show. I always like soundtracks because before the internet existed, soundtracks were a really good way to get into other bands.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially when you're watching a movie and you're like, fuck, this is like, if you're watching a movie and you're into the soundtrack too, that's saying something. That means the director's got a thing for music.
Right.
And it wasn't an accident. I used to say when I was a kid, I'd be like, what do you want to do for a living? I'd be like, I want to be the guy that picks the music for movies, man. And then I'd rather feel it like that's a director, dickhead. Like you have to direct the whole movie if you're going to do that. I mean, you can't just, hey, Rob, I like where you're at, man. I'm here to pick your music. Like, no, fuck it. I got my own music picked out.
For the movies.
I thought that was a job.
Man, that's cool.
I wanted that job. That's why I do what I do, because that job's not available. But I really wanted to pick music for movies.
I like that. That's funny.
Let me see your. It's like. I mean, I know that there's people who pick the score. I get that. Yeah. But in any case, yeah, this is one of those movies where I watch the movie and I want to listen to the soundtrack. So that's why I suggested it. I'm glad you were into it. Hopefully, watching it found something.
And like when you listen to the soundtrack, it kind of makes you want to watch the movie. And then if you like the soundtrack, you watch the movie, it makes you want to listen to the soundtrack. So
right. And Rob Zombie obviously is really good with music. So you can, check out any of those three soundtracks are tasty. I can tell you that much. But yeah. So what do you have selected for next week?
For next week, this band called 16 Horsepower.
Okay.
And their album called Secret South.
You got it, man. I don't know anything about them, so find out.
I'll give a little disclaimer. I think I probably usually do, but a little disclaimer. Just so you and everyone else is in the right mindset, like not the right, but like going in to it like in a different, and I guess the right mindset. Yeah. So, you know how like a lot of metal bands use like Satan, whether or not they're like they're satanic themselves, like Slayer, yeah, right. Satan and Satan being satanic is a big part of that band and most metal bands, right? Well, Slayer, the members aren't Satanists per se. No. They're not, and neither is most metal bands. Some are really scary and whatever, but most aren't. This band, that's not a metal band, they use religion, Christianity in that same vein. They're not religious per se, but they use Christianity in this dark, scary, almost Old Testament way.
All right. I'm interested anyway.
They use God in that same vein.
Okay.
Like as in like it's like similar as how metal bands use the devil, but they use God, and it's still he's still kind of, the singer kind of uses it in a creepy way. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Just know that before you're like, man, this is God rock. It's not. It's different. There's a different element to it. So just check it out. 16 Horsepower album, Secret South.
You got it, man. And now I have something to listen to with the family at Sunday dinner. It's going to be good. All right. Well, I would keep rambling, but we get to do a show again next week. So you guys know about the wheel. Hook us up. Throw down some. We're not gonna beat a dead horse here. Grab some ideas, throw them in there, Ask your spouse, your friend, your cat, your dog, your goldfish, your turtle. Come up with some shit. Throw it our way. Otherwise, we're gonna keep talking about demons and metal. All right. So
Might.
no,
I
come on.
will. Still.
Hey, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Till then, bye-bye.
Bye.